intro? This is an intro!
Hello, Whoa! Okay, don't stand up when you're doing recording in Brixton. And you got hit in the head with a freaking brick. I'm rioting again, Aaron.
Come on, lads, let's get them.
What are you rioting against?
I don't know, I'm just being part of the circle. I'm now in with a popular lot. Don't ruin this for me.
What are you all rioting about?
The system!
Good choice. Anyway, hey guys, welcome to BBC Radio CAD. Here, episode number, what is this, 52?
Right.
We are live in Brixton.
Yeah.
And they're rioting again.
Oi, don't throw a brick at me, you
You just exploded the tear gas in his hand and now they're all running around blind.
Good.
But those are the popular people.
No, I'm the one.
Aaron, back to unpopularity again. Anyway, welcome to episode 52 of BBC Radio CAD. Sorry once again that it's taken so long to get an episode out, but we were actually not allowed into Brixton unless we were actually armed with a brick.
I already had a couple of guns.
Yeah, we seriously had guns, we had knives and everything. We were not allowed to bring those in. We are armed each with a brick.
Yeah.
Just one.
Guess what I hid inside mine?
Go on.
A 22mm.
Nice. Just make sure you put your pants on before you show me that.
You're a twisted, sick, demented, horrible person. It's a good thing so am I.
Yeah. Do you know what I got? Oh yeah.
How'd you get that inside a brick?
I have a box of Maltesers! Because I'm hungry! Lovely. Anyway, so now it's time for the first part of the show. As always, it's time for the Daily.
Attack!
Okay, so in the moves today, on a 55 to 45% vote, Scotland's last sort of independence referendum, put that in air quotes by the way, because you know they're going to get another one. There was I don't think there was actually any legal binding contract to the fact that that had to be their last one. So, they're probably just going to do another one in soon. So we're like, we're still here, you bastards! F*** you! Pricks! Referendum again. But they're slowly getting there. Anyway, the referendum has failed and they are still part of the United Kingdom. A lot of Scots are saying that it was rigged and all that stuff. I personally think that is bitter Scottish. You know, bitter Scots who really should be at the pub drinking. But they're not. Why? You should be. We are. We're in a bar at the moment in Brixton and there's still a riot going on. Because riots and bars in Brixton have no windows. Because they've all been smashed already. Anyway, so Scottish tennis player Andy Murray is facing horrible backlash for fighting for his country's independence. I have no clue why this is, you know. You're fighting for the independence of your own country.
Yes.
Why is everyone in like England going like, oh, we hate you, Murray? We always knew that he was a Scot through and through. So why are we getting upset about it?
No clue.
That's like if it was the other way around, you know, that's like an Englishman, you know, and it's like, let's say the big country was like Scotland in the UK. Let's say the big country was Scotland. That'd be like an England guy who said he's England through and through, and then when England asks for independence, he'll say, yeah, I support England in their independence. And the Scots going, f*** you. You know, that's like what it is. We are completely in the wrong there for having a go at Andy Murray. Something else has happened here, which is absolutely hilarious. But for this to work, Aaron, you're going to need to go into the attic.
Again?
Yeah. But this time, not for those softcore pornographies for our previous producer. Because we owe our producer out of court. Because we tried to kill him. So this is to keep him quiet.
Yeah.
So
Trying to build bridges here.
Yeah, so he's all right now. So he's fine. You know, he's resting in peace.
Good.
Back in his grave again.
Yeah.
Instead of being
Well.
lobbed out of two-story windows, Aaron.
Never gonna forgive me for that one, are you?
Hell of a laugh, though.
Yeah.
So I need for you to go into the attic. There's
Yeah.
one object we need to get from it. It's in a small black box. Remember
Okay.
when we put it up there a few years ago?
Oh, that one.
Yeah, we need to get that one back down again.
Why didn't you get it?
You've seen me, I'm too short to get in the attic.
Give you a boost.
Last time we did that, you actually gave me the chocolate bar. I was not impressed. So yeah, just, don't worry, it's like right next to the entrance, so you should be fine.
Okay. Well, I'll be back in a bit.
Okay. Right, so, all I can say is, while he's gone, let's do a Radio CAD time skip.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that was quick.
Yep. Right. I got several of those boxes.
Why have you got all of them?
You didn't really specify.
I said it was black.
All of them are black. It's the attic. It doesn't have a light.
But that's green.
It was black when I went up there. What are you being racist for? Okay, let's have a look in here. Decapitated heads, chainsaw bits. Louis Walsh's head.
Ooh, mine.
Okay.
Hi. Hey, Aaron, do you remember when
Yeah?
he chopped his head off? Do you remember the face he was pulling? It was so hilarious.
It was good.
Yeah. He was gurning the entire thing. It was hilarious. Funny. Here you go, rioters. Have some head on me. Oh God, they've ripped it to shreds.
See, that's what I love Brixton for. They're so
Yeah.
upright and in your face.
Yeah,
And
but they're
tearing it off.
Yeah, but they're blunt about it. I mean, look, 100% of people don't like Louis Walsh here. They're a divide. They're not a divided like nation of people, unlike Scotland. They are fully 100% into that. You know, that they're into taking Louis Walsh's head and just ripping it clean asunder. We're in a pub now. How the hell did you get into our attic?
Deus Ex Machina.
Damn it, man. Well, I gotta admit, that thing's got us out of some shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And have you found it yet?
Yeah, this is the one.
Nice. Alright. It's time to bring back an old part of the show!
No!
Oh,
No,
damn it,
no, no!
not that
No,
one.
what are you doing? What are you doing? No! Turn it off! Turn it off! Turn it off! Turn it!
Damn it, no! No! That button was the greatest button in the world and you ruined it!
Shut up! Give me that grenade! Never. Trees of ears, hills of ice. Trees of ears, hills of ice, eyes of ears.
Okay.
Oh God.
Well, come on, which button is it? Which one is it?
Take it!
Fine. Right, it's time to bring back an old part of the show! Again! And you know what? All I can say is, Aaron is doing facts right now. Here we go!
Gordon Brown's got done again.
Gordon Brown has got done again. He was one of the people that was originally trying to get Scotland independence, and, well, all I can say is he failed. So did Alistair Darling, the man with dyed eyebrows, apparently. All I can say is that Scotland is still part of the UK. The Scottish are, well, a lot of them are very, 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 I'm saying very because I'm trying to think of the word I'm trying to say, bitter. Andy Murray is facing a horrible backlash, and Gordon Brown still can't. Gordon Brown can't do politics for shit. Next story. It's time for Aaron Skidley's random facts. Well, all I can say is that would be your daily horror.
That was not cool, man! That was not cool!
It was fine. Anyway,
On
so
the cool level, that hit not cool.
who are you? One of the guys from Cool Runnings.
Shut up, man. Shut up. Carry on with it.
Right, here we go. This first one is very sort of well known from like a month or so ago, but all we can say is it's very bad and very horrible and all that sort of thing. And that's
Get
the
on with it.
That's the daily horror. I get it. A 15-year-old is suspected of committing arson to a Manchester dogs home a few weeks ago,
Oh, Jesus.
which saw nearly 60 dogs burnt alive. That's just bad. You know, I mean, I know we make jokes on Radio CAD a lot, but that is just horrible. Disgusting.
And that's not the way you make hot dogs.
No, Aaron, no! We're not supposed to make jokes about
I'm
this!
sorry.
All I can say is they are now being sold to North Korea. Oh, damn! Screw it, next one. This one we can take the piss about, because no one died, and it's about an utter creep. We're not going to be lynched from the nearest lamppost.
No.
Which it would have been the nearest tree, but that one's gone now!
So...
Okay, so a nurse who fantasized and tried to lure a teenager to kill her and eat her has been jailed for 9 years. You heard me right there. Yep, all I can say is, if there are the rare cases we have in our hospitals, I don't want to get ill ever again.
No, that's not a fetish. If you're dead, that's not... The pleasure symptom is gone. There's no point eating someone.
He's just a creep. He was an absolute creep.
Oh, he was an absolute creep.
That makes it even worse!
Yeah. Oh, that's just messed up, wrong, dirty, and sickening.
That is gross. I mean, he reportedly brought an axe to work the day before the alleged meeting. This guy's now in jail for 9 years, and hopefully he doesn't make it out.
More. And 9 years, remove the teeth, cut off the genitals. And
pretty much anything from the human centipede do to him.
Yeah, well, listen.
Including the teeth bit. Oh, God.
Crime and punishment have to coincide with each other. There has to be a balance between the both. And
there's no balance here! I mean, here we go. Here's the scales of justice right here. Here is this twat. Bang! Crash! He's made a crater in the earth.
He's made a crater.
That's how bad it is.
Yes.
Okay, that is scales of justice. Boom! Scales of justice are now broken, which means O.J. Simpson's going to get off with another lawsuit. Right, next news! Alright, so now I want to go on to a legendary Chris rant, which is not its official part of the show yet.
Here we go.
It might be at some point, but I want to have a rant about women's magazines. 1. Why are they so similar to men's magazines for? This is my opening to my stand-up show, which I'm never going to frickin' do.
The first one.
The first one was terrible. Yes.
Terrible.
The fact that women's magazines and men's magazines are now so similar to each other. I mean, on a men's magazine, you've got a picture of a woman with not much on.
Skinny as a rake.
Yeah, well, not in a men's magazine.
Oh, we're talking
no.
about men's magazine.
Men's magazine, no, they're not skinny as a rake. However, on a women's magazine, it's a picture of a woman with not much on. Why? I mean, that's like on a men's magazine, having a picture of a man with not much on. What do we want to see that for? Cover up, you bastard. You're making us all feel horrible for ourselves. Why do you think we took up drinking in the first place?
There it is.
I mean, that's why most of us took up drinking in the first place. I did. Anyway, but no, here is my problem with women's magazines. They seem to be read by some, or they seem to be written by some form of feministic bitch. I am treading hallowed ground here, and I don't give no two shits about that.
You are skating on thin ice.
I work in a convenience store, I see this a lot, or whatever. And along with, obviously, oh, amazing weight loss from person who then gains the weight again in, like, 3 months, because she stopped.
Oh, like how to get, like,
How to
seriously rock hat.
How to get a flat belly in like 3 weeks. Yeah, I'm 25 stone. Can I get that?
Yes, you sure can. What you need to do is cut off your skin. Sorted.
And take steroids. I am actually a woman.
No, my problem is they always have like a tagline on the front, like a really, like, I hate newspapers when they have like a shock tagline on the front, and that makes people buy it. Like 84-year-old woman beaten up for purse in parking lot. God, that's horrible. I have to read it.
This is the shock factor of business.
Yeah. Women's magazines are the exact same, and it's always something that makes some man feel, seem like an absolute, utter, disgusting turd. For example, I don't even know if any of these are true or not. I'm starting to believe that a lot of these are false. We've got things like, my grandfather raped my mother, and then raped me when I was 3. It's like, come on! How many times am I going to see that in like a 1-year period? I think I've seen that like 5 times on different magazines. It's not the same bloke. There's things like raped on my honeymoon, beaten up for a Kit Kat bar by drunk, useless husband, roofied and I woke up with my pants still on. I'm not saying that these are all false, because, there are some sick men out there, but there are some sick women out there too. The fact is, in our magazines, we don't care about the sick ones, we care about the hot ones. The intelligent ones, the cute ones, the ones that we actually give a damn about. Why do you want to read something that's going to make you angry? It's like reading a Piers Morgan autobiography. On every single page is pretty much, I'm a prick, I'm a Prick. Here's chapter 3. I'm a Prick. Continued. Revived. Part 2. And don't get me started on when he said Chess Springs Down was the worst show ever. So yeah, all I can say is women's magazines. Why can't you do something else? Why can't you do news stories, about, like, anything that women like, like, I don't know what they like nowadays. Cats or music or reality shows or all that shit. Do that. Don't have sort of, like, every single one. I love it that women don't have a stereotype while men are still sort of women-ogling, beer-drinking perverts.
Well, that will never change.
Yeah, but we are.
Not being...
Masculinist! Yeah, let's get the ball rolling on this one.
Okay.
The pussies!
That's the tagline.
That's the tagline. Masculinism. The pussies. Carry on.
Right.
We're saying what everyone is thinking. That's the whole thing with Radio CAD.
I didn't really get my viewpoint across, but
You did. You got your viewpoint across.
And then you shut me out of it mid-sentence. I was pretty much like looking towards like Heaven's Gate, and you like f***ing slammed.
And I'm like, do not spit on the sidewalk, hell. Dick. I know. Anyway, now rant over. It's time for the Crapometer. Wow, that was actually quite... No, I'm very impressed the fact that we both stopped at the same time. Okay, so first up on the Crapometer, Jeremy Kyle runs like a f*** the pussies!
Right.
That's going to be a CAD tagline now. I'm going to put that on a t-shirt. And it's going to be a picture of, like, a cat and, like, someone just doing that to a cat. Crapometer rating on this one, 6 out of 5. Not too bad, because it finally shows Jeremy Kyle is a complete wuss. So, after calling a man a useless father, Jeremy runs like an absolute wuss away when he struck a wrong nerve.
Right.
I'm sorry, when you called someone a useless father...
That gets to rile up a bit.
Just a bit. That's like saying to someone who's got, like, 3 children... and loves them to bits.
And does
everything for them.
Yeah,
sacrifice their life just so they can get their next breath. And that's like you going up to them going, you're a shit mother. That's gonna get...
a father.
Yeah, that's gonna get you on someone's car bonnet with an anvil through your face.
That's gonna get like an ATM machine crushed.
Yeah.
Your skull.
And not the one that was nicked from Morrison. Okay.
Yeah, I heard about that. Nice job, by the way.
Yeah, I know, it's brilliant, isn't it? I've seen the security footage. They did a job. It's seriously taken 9 years for someone to get this close to Jeremy Kyle for him to run like a little bitch without those stupid tan gorillas getting in the way.
Yeah.
Have you seen them? They're sort of like, hello, I take roids. I also have a father who's 5'8".
Here's a tissue box.
Here's a tissue box. It's time for the Big Tan Monkey Show.
It's the Big Tan Monkey Show. If you got tissue, we will help. If you got a sneeze or you need to splooge, have a tissue from the ape guys.
I can see that as Christmas number 1.
Yeah.
True story.
Yeah.
I read it in a book once.
Cool.
Maybe all we need is 9 more years and he finally gets a clout on the nose. So, tune back with us in Radio CAD 2023, the 2023 album, The Rivals of Aston. No, that's a... We'll think of it. We'll think of it. But, yeah. Rivals of Aston, current prototype name of 2023's Radio CAD. For when Jeremy Kyle finally gets his nose broken. Alright, now on to more news. Big bitchy loudmouth on show. Crapometer rating 20 out of 5. Yes, we're talking about Katie Hopkins on Celebrity Juice.
Yep.
Now, why is it only 20 out of 5 here? Well, Keith Lemon actually talks like a human being for once.
Okay.
Instead of using random one-line quotes, if they were good one-line quotes, he might work in an episode of Friends. But
you're telling me he's matured?
No. I mean, he accidentally took some maturity pills instead of his Viagra, and now they've worn off.
That's alright.
So Keith Lemon actually is being serious as he tears this snobby, loudmouth bitch apart, which is hilarious and brilliant. This gets such a low rating because it shows for the first time ever this show has actually been relevant in actually talking like a human being, unlike making everyone talk like someone from the red light district. So, for the moment, sorry guys, low rating, I know, for Celebrity Juice, I know. You were waiting for sort of like it needs to be 17,000 this time! But maybe next time, 17,000. 17,000 next time, definitely. But we'll try and remember that promise. Alright, so, next up on the Crapometer, Celebrity Big Brother.
Celebrity Big Brother is a load of crap.
Number 2, possibly, for Christmas number 1. Celebrity Big Celebrity Big Brothel. My mistake. I completely forgot about that.
Yes, my fault.
Never mind. It was my fault. I missed it.
I
Anyway,
should have remembered it.
as usual, people who everyone doesn't know. 5 reality TV stars and others. The only one I knew is actually Audley Harrison, the 2000 gold medalist for boxing.
So if anybody with him,
Yeah, he's gonna punch him in the face. The winner is Gary Busey. You know, that guy that Meatloaf verbally up. You don't nick his bleeding sponges!
never steal his sponges.
You never steal a meat sponges.
No.
But no, he was actually a celebrity because he was in Lethal Weapon. But he's not Danny Glover or Mel Gibson, so no one gives a shit. I think we'll be okay now because our current producer's been sacked.
Really?
We've got a new one in.
I didn't do anything to him.
You threw him out. We tried to flog him last year, remember?
That was the eBay thing.
Yeah, we tried to sell him last
You
year.
said you were selling body parts.
We were selling body parts, and now we've sacked him because we can't sell him. No one even wants him, so why should we have him?
No one wants him.
Yeah.
Not even those, like, fat suckers that produce soap out of human body fat.
I believe if I remember, he was like a university student who was mostly drinking a lot. So he probably was skinny as a rake to begin with. And to the fact that you actually picked him up and threw him out a window,
Yeah,
he was
good
probably
point.
quite light.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't have had anything to do with him either. No, we now have a new producer. Everyone, welcome, Gromit!
Gromit.
Yeah.
Gromit.
Yeah,
Off Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah,
Are you that f***ing thick?
You know Gromit, yeah.
You absolute stupid, little, insignificant, little twat. You hired Gromit, one of the smartest people on the show, of Wallace and Gromit.
Which there are only 2, and Wallace is a complete idiot.
You hired him. You hired him. Why in the sheer blue hell did you hire him? Why did you hire, of all things, a dog?
That's the beauty of it. He's mute, so he can't tell us where we need to go next.
You sure you thought everything through? There's nothing that you left out.
He can't tell the cool, low voice guy at the end of the show where we need to go. We can choose where
Are
we
you
go.
sure? Because if this bites me in the ass, I am going to
He's a
kill
dog of
you.
He's a dog of course.
I will happily kill you.
He's a dog of course he's gonna bite you in the ass. But no, it's gonna be okay.
You sure?
Yes.
You definite?
Yes.
You absolutely positive this is not going to bite me in the ass?
He is, but this won't. It's a great idea.
Sure, I'll believe it.
Who would you want to have? Phoenix the cat? Donkey? That donkey? You're gonna send us to the swamp and you know it.
Why would I want Donkey?
Because he's awesome.
I would have time to,
Well, go on, who would you have?
No, I would have time to look at the candidates and see who would be better preferred.
It's CAD. He's the only one that was there. We hired him.
Was he the only applicant?
Yes.
And you were the one that was doing the interview, were you?
Yes. Yes, I was, in fact.
Where was I at that point in time?
We were at the pub drinking. Again.
It's not a surprise.
And if you remember correctly, you came back and just went, "You're hired regardless." You thought that it was the Gloop monster from Ghostbusters.
Well, if you believe in him, then...
We might as well give him a trial period.
Listen, I'm not bagging on any hopes here, but if you're wrong about this,
Are you
me and you
serious?
are going to fall out. If you are wrong about this, me and you are going to fall out big time.
I would seriously flash back to the amount of times we punched each other in the face, but that's too much editing time, so I'm just going to say we've never fallen out our entire lives of doing CAD. Ever.
No.
So, anyway, Celebrity Big Brother, let's get back onto that. Why not? Gromit's doing a great job. was awesome. I loved him in that episode of any of them other than A Matter of Life and Death, which was crap. Laying it to the Aardman people there. Anyway, so after getting a warning for getting naked and other sexual remarks and moments, he was voted the winner. So that's what nowadays generation likes. A 70-year-old man with no clothes on and his junk out.
This generation's messed up.
Yeah. And they said that our generation's f***ed up. Seriously, feel sorry for the poor bastards below us.
They couldn't kill people.
What were we into? We were into, epic stuff. The Men in Black shit. The Batman and Men in Black cartoon series. They were epic.
Never saw them.
You suck. We were into Funhouse.
Never saw that either.
Or Sooty and Co.
Never saw that.
You're a twit. Okay, what did you watch when you were younger?
I was playing outside in the sun.
Well, that hasn't worked on you. You're still freaking pasty.
Then I found out video games existed.
Alright, what video games did you play then?
First one I got was Lara Croft.
You saw the breasts. You saw the breasts and just went, yup, I'm having that one.
I was 5.
Yep, I'm having that one. Alright, okay, we'll go to video games then. Tomb Raider.
Yep.
Crash Bandicoot.
Yep.
Spyro.
Yep.
Resident Evil.
Yep.
Pokemon for me. Sonic for me as well.
I only played Pokemon Yellow, still haven't got any of them.
I got most of them. But yeah, so that's what we had. Yeah, and on shows we had things like Gladiators or When Horse Be a Millionaire was actually good. We had great shows like that and stuff like that.
And Disney was coming out with good stuff.
Disney had good stuff. Toy Story. That's all you need to say. A Bug's Life. The Lion King. That was our childhood. What childhood have they got nowadays? Tree Foo freaking Tom. Who the f*** is that? He's a man who has the power of Tree Foo. He can karate chop with the power of trees. Environmentalists, eat your heart out. We did a show for 2-year-olds about an environmentalist child who likes to karate chop random things.
It's pretty much like having this ring. It's like, I have the Ring of Heart.
Oh, you're going back to that. I have the power of hearts.
Wow, what does it do? I love you.
I have the power of hearts. I can talk to animals. So could Dr. Dolittle. Only he wasn't a superhero. Still good to know that his daughter Eliza's actually making good music. So what they got? Tree Food Tom, they got the new Bob the Builder. My God. They f***ed up Bob the Builder. They made Bob the Builder, seriously, look like a snobby, ginger, speckly, freckly, shitly, fucking 8-year-old.
Played outside, remember?
He looked like you. Postman Pat now has a family and a helicopter. Do you remember when he just had a van posting presents with his cat?
How long has he been going for?
Years.
So you think at some point he had to, invest in all that?
How is he gonna... He's a postman.
You think...
He's a postman. How the hell is he going to get enough money to get a helicopter?
Well,
He's not Noel Edmonds. And if you notice nowadays, the Royal Mail's going down the shit.
I've never posted a parcel. I've always...
Excuse me. Play outside. Didn't deliver any mail.
Yeah.
Have you had a mail, any letter come through for you which wasn't a summons for alcoholic disorders?
Caught.
That was Royal Mail.
That'd be the that went down.
Damn it, man. Alright, well, yeah, so that's what we had. The current generation, and they got 70-year-old men with their junk out. And they say we had it bad. They say we had
Played outside.
When you're 70, you're going to be there with your junk out, just going, playing outside.
No. When I'm 70, I want to myself in my own room and say I've myself, deal with it.
To an empty house.
Hang on.
Played outside.
If you die before you hit 70, you're not going to reach 70. Well, thank you, Master of Logic.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Hitting 70. Hitting 70 of what we don't know. Chris Brown. On to more moves. It's time for football. That's the shortened, abbreviated version.
Yes.
Well played there.
I don't want to get hit.
No worries. Alright, so, Liverpool, again. They now have their kryptonite, and we know exactly what it is. We have found the weakness to the shit with a lot of weaknesses.
To the cancer that consumes the football.
Yeah, but we
football
found
enterprise.
we found the weakness to the thing with quite a few holes in it that are full of weaknesses. But we found another one. It's like in Pokemon where you find another reason that grass is shit. Bug, flying, ice, fire, poison, screw everything. And Liverpool are the grassiest of grass types, because most of them end up on the floor. Their kryptonite appears to be any team wearing claret and blue. After shocking losses to Aston Villa and West Ham United. All I can say is, I'm waiting for them to fight Burnley. Oh, that's going to be so fun. Anyway, also Liverpool, back to sucking as usual. Big surprise, they are now below Manchester United in the league table. Okay, so now Liverpool are going to start to talk about the history, right?
We've won more like league titles than anyone. Blah, 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 blah. We finished second last year. We were very close to finishing first, and then some god slipped over.
Stevie G. It also took their 12th man, the penalty spot by the way, to beat Middlesbrough to advance to the 4th round of the League Cup after a 14-13 penalty shootout. You'd have thought by the time they got to 7 it would have been, oh God, can you just finish this already? No, I gotta go home. The curry's in the fridge. It's gonna freeze, you know. It's a madras. It doesn't go very well. Oh, why'd you have to miss that? We're still at 8 all. But at least it gives the Liverpool fans time to nick stuff from the Liverpool players like they used to do in the houses before. More time means more of that, so I wonder how many Liverpool houses they were able to burgle before that match was over. And I wonder how many DJs Steven Gerrard punched in the face before he changed the track. However, Manchester United are doing worse. They're outing in round 2 of the League Cup to League 1 side MK Dons by 4-0. And then a 5-3 loss to Leicester City in the league. Just proved that football needs a defence. Attack ain't everything. It really is. You look at Liverpool United, they are so attacking. Well, Liverpool not very well attacking. You need a strong defence in a football team. You can't... But that's the problem. Again, nowadays people, you know, me, I'm awesome. Nowadays people are shit. But you know, if you play, like, let's say you play back in the
good old 90s.
when we played football with our mates. When we played football with our mates, it was sort of, yeah, okay, let's play a game of football. Okay, what are we going to do? Well, let's get into our positions. Okay, I'll be keeper. Random 6'4" guy. Yeah, I'll take that.
When I was playing outside, all we did was have a ball and kick it to each other whilst talking. That was all the football we had.
But yeah, no, we had like specific people that were like, okay, I'll be defence, I'll be midfield, I'll be attack, I'll be goalkeeper. Nowadays, like,
Oh, I want to be attack. I want to be attack. I'll be attack. I'll be defensive. You be defensive. You 8, you 9 other guys. What do you want to be? Attack.
midfield right.
Good, you'll get midfield left.
Oh.
Okay, what formation are we going to run? We're going to run a 0-0-1-10.
The opposing team, I think, are running a 0-0-0-0-11, so I think we're okay. We have the midfield left. Oh. Midfield lefts. Anyway, on to our last bit of news. Time for some fun ones. And now back on to Jordan. Yay! When was the last time we did something about Jordan?
No.
Seriously. My God, by now we must be really getting on the tits by now. Or maybe we are a gigantic pain in her ass. Boom! Yeah. I still think the Eiffel Tower dildo one might have been a bit better.
That's for another day. Keep that in the closet. That's for another day.
Keep that in a closet? What? The joke just comes out and be like, I'm a gay joke. Oh, God. This is going to be the most offensive cat episode ever.
No wonder people, don't come out of wardrobes.
Wardrobes.
You know when, people say I'm coming out of the closet, it means they're coming out gay. They're coming out of wardrobes. Everybody would be pretty shocked. It's like, oh my God, are you from Narnia? No, I'm gay.
Either that. He's like, oh, well, I don't want to be friends with you anymore. You heightened up.
This whole Aslan, he's going to be cross with you.
The witch is going to hate you. Either that, or it's sort of like, it's a wardrobe, and I'm going to come out of the wardrobe. Damn it! Come on! Why did I get this from IKEA? No!
Not now!
It's like, not now! No! Actually, that's an idea. Do you think there's actually a gay death metal band?
Now that is a question.
Make that happen. Someone, make a gay death metal band. Why isn't there one yet? And if there is, post it down below that there is one in the YouTube-y stuffs. Because we're not a radio show, damn it. We know it.
We're not even broadcasted or published by the BBC.
Yeah,
Bitch!
Speaking of bitches, Jordan has had another child with another different father. Fair enough. That's nice. Whatever.
What's her name?
Well, here's the thing. She's got the worst name since Northwest. It is seriously bad, and she will be bullied throughout her entire life. And it's something that she's going to change.
You're getting me excited here. What's her name?
I told you to stop taking Viagra before we go on the air.
You took one of those pills, okay?
Her name
Yep.
is Gemma.
Ah, it's not bad.
Kidding, her name's Bunny.
What?
Bunny.
One more time.
Katie Price's newest child is called Bunny. How can you not laugh at that? And we know why we're all laughing, folks, don't we? Who would name their child after a character from A Christian Holiday? Yeah! See?
Sure, why not?
Stupid. No, let's be honest. Why the hell has she named her own daughter after her favourite vibrator? Is that sort of like a man calling his son Fleshlight?
Oh.
All I could say is I thought Jordan couldn't get any more pathetic, but apparently
The limit never stops.
we're starting to show some credence here. Northwest doesn't sound as bad, but this one is even worse than that. This one is just the worst, and I think that is a great way to end today's show. So I hope you've all enjoyed this episode.
Oh, wait.
Yeah?
One important input into this show.
Go on.
There's one last button we need to press. We brought a lot back.
Eat my magnum!
Those Maltesers you ate earlier.
No!
How
No!
did they taste?
No!
Yeah.
You!
You're right, mate. You're
Oh,
feeling a
right,
little...
right. No, screw it. We're ending the show here. But first, I'm going to make a phone call. Thank you.
No problem. Oh, by the way, the toilet's blocked.
That's
I should
fine.
have told you earlier.
So that's the end of BBC Radio CAD. I hope you've enjoyed this. I did at some point. And now, I'm going to go and bath in the sink now.
Yeah, if you
Anyway,
like
that's
fucking
it
chili
from this
powder.
that's it from this episode. The next time will be our Christmas special, and hopefully I'll feel well again. Anyway,
Unlikely.
see you next time.
Next week, Chris and Aaron be live in Brixton.
No! You told me he wouldn't talk! You told me he wouldn't speak! How did he address that information to the speaking guy? Oh no.
Remember that text I did earlier?
You...
1-1 bit. Oh God. Get him away!